Got ourselves lots of pharaohs on team with a cute druid as well as hockey. We got ourselves flex as well as demoniac back in on the subtlety rogue. The weapon combo is pretty, like, that's a fist weapon I feel like almost nobody ever uses. It's actually kind of detailed. It's actually kind of good looking. I like the little crack there. Conan also on that team as well. Blackwell over for the team one. Got himself, I like his full plated set. I like it. It's not completely a full set, but it's like pieces. I think it looks great. We got ourselves Scrim going to be first up, Excalibur in the back, Jonas, and Buff Rogue. And it's going to be a Feral Druid Hockey versus Scrim. I think last time Hockey and Grim dueled, didn't he get really close, but then the Feral ultimately did have the DME. This time he's Frost though. Hold on, trying to see if he can lock him down. Got himself cast, trying to get interrupted. He is immune to stuns, but still taking lots of damage. Ultra barely keeping it alive. Maybe look at her first ice block here. Lots of procs with Grim. Oh no! He probably had a shield coming up like in the last few seconds, right? Just literally one more second and I got a shield. And then the bleed's probably procced a lot. What's up, Lisa? Hey, my man. Oh no. Yeah, last time it was just like the Feral came in, blood up my mans. And he just melted. It was rough, dude. Feral bleeds are rough. Especially with the random procs with those blooms too. Because it can just randomly bloom and do more damage. It is rough. Like the vines or whatever they're called. With Wildstalker, stun onto Hockey, trying to see if he can get the hell out of dodge. Bardskin, everything is available. He got himself full heals in case he needs more. Shadowmeld trying to get a stun, does not get a proper stun without full dot, rotting him down. Excalibur with a dot pressure as a red pally is in a great spot. Trying to go for that clone, doesn't sit it long at all with a trick, and Excalibur breaking past it. Hockey with a full heart of the wild wall in bear form, picking up a lot of healing. Now the Cyclone does not quite connect. Now you're just going to be blinded for a second. You have to play super defensive. I don't know what else you can do. I think it's over. That dot, yeah, that dot damage though, it just rots you down. The entire time you try to get some kind of like a reset from the Pala, trying to clone, trying to do anything at all. It's just a ton. Incarnate immediately for Q Druid. Bleeds up, but a blessing of protection stops all that pressure. And Excalibur trying to see if he can get up some kind of a rot going on to Q Druid. Looks like that Moonfire is still doing a little bit of damage though. That is unfortunate. That is going to be unfortunate. He still has a bubble. He hasn't been able to recover health. Does get him some wings. Pull back into the Ursos. Getting some dot damage onto Cute Druid. Nobody here has a trinket anymore, so that's going to be a little rough. Wall with a Bardskin. Trying to see if he can just stay on top of Excalibur as best as possible. Big old bite as the shield of it is back up and available. Potential lots of damage. I think I know the proc of wings too. Wild wings was already rolling in. That's actually a lot. That's actually going to be a lot of pressure. Especially since he can build up the Dawn Light dot to be like extra long. I think it is just length, right? Cyclone by Cute. Try to see if he can get himself a little bit of a reset. He got regrowths. He can do a little bit of healing. Maybe he can also get away from the Excalibur without any dots or anything. He could go for regenerating to get himself a bit more healing. They are trying to make regenerating better, by the way. They're letting you use it while you're dotted. So that's going to be huge against this Paladin. Once 1107 is here, but right now he just can't really do much. Does end up dropping the hammer on him. Back-to-back hammers with Excalibur backing up out of there. Conan, Demoniac, and Flex is going to be up next. Flex so far hasn't really got a chance to play. Is he up next? Is it Demoniac? They kind of look at one another. Is it next? Is it you? Is it him? Is it Conan? Is it? I'm trying to figure it out. For Excalibur, this is cooldown's going back though. With Blessing of Protection, Shield of Vengeance little by little. All those things are going to be very helpful. As now trying to see if he can get himself an angle before Excalibur can get himself a proper go. This is where you want to kite the Paladin out before they can even set up a proper Herald of the Sun Dawn Light dot. If you can do that, that'll be huge. Now try to see if you can avoid Excalibur, keeping a max range on him as best as possible. He's got himself a Harpoon to try to see if he can dodge. Does gonna juke him out completely actually. Still continue to rot him down with those grenades back to back with many bandages since no Dawn Light is on him. Excalibur having to put a Dawn Light on himself as well as the Muskrat Pad. But that's about all he can do right now. For now, this is a great situation to be in. He does need to at some point get in close. Stun. He needs to get himself a Butchery together with a Serpent Sting. Does get hit with a Dawn Light. That's not going to feel good at all. He is going to have to play it super careful here. Disarming Excalibur, but the man got himself movement together with the Hand of Freedom. Blind for a second onto Nelt with his Searing Glare. You may be able to just to feint it. Shadow Melt for a second. Oh no, you can't feint anymore. I was about to say like you can just feint it because it's a magic. That's not a thing. I'm still stuck in my mindset where you can still feint magic or dots in general. Bunch of effects. Kind of miss when hunters could do that. I mean, it was great for the hunter. I imagine not great for everybody else. Big wake up matches. Down into Nell. He does get a full freeze onto Excalibur. Shield of Venus is up. He does need to get himself full set of bleeds onto Excalibur and rot him out, because he's got himself lots of good dot damage too. But that dawn light hurts so much that I think it's just over. Yeah, Excalibur, man, that dawn light, once you get it on him, it hurts. Bubble still available. I think Lay on Hands also still up, right? Unless you end up using it versus Flex. Does get super low on health. Is it going to be Bubble? Lay on Hands, just rotating that first before the Bubble. And with that, it's kind of waiting to see if he might be able to get a Blessing of Protection for the next combatant, which is going to be Jonas. Or, no, it's going to be Demoniac. I looked at the wrong side of the team. Potentially here. Got himself full dots out of Conan. Conan trying to see if he gets some dots in there too. Reflect, but something... Oh, he reflected a Hodge. I was about to say, like, once you reflect back, like Excalibur just standing there, it was just a Hodge. It was so perfect. Oh, man. Normally, I'm so used to watching Sayo over in the EU bait reflects, because he's really good at bait and reflect. He's really good at baiting those. He almost never gets reflected by another warrior, ever. It's so rare. But watching Conan to land. Conan's actually landed some really nice reflects in the past. Excalibur is really low. Maybe looking at a bubble here. Searing Glare does land. Is going to be Excalibur getting some blink damage on him. Into a Stormbolt. It does not connect. Stun. It has himself a human racial to break out of that one. First aid. Trying to see if we can take out the first aid. Bubble. Do you have a shatter? Do you have it? I don't think you do. Yeah, it's just live angle. Reflect. It's not enough. It's not enough. That is rough. Excalibur does end up using Bubble. Will not have a Blessing of Protection for a good bit. So for Demonic, like if he just wants to end this right now, there's nothing Excalibur can do. Can Trinket to try to see if he can run away. Rogue with Sprint can just catch up to you though. Unless he's slowed. Just try to buy himself as much time as possible. That's all you can do right now is buy yourself time. You need to wait until Bop is available. You need to wait for that Forbearance. You could Bubble while Forbearance is active, but all the other ones like Lay on Hands and Blessing of Protection, all those still have to play around Forbearance rules. Bubble's the only one that can ignore those. Big secret, into a Blessing of Protection. You still have some shadow damage that maybe could go through. Cloak of Shadows right after. Got himself a bit of damage, but the Rogue trying to see if he can just not get too far back. Has got himself advantage to see himself a big Eviscerate too. Stun, Trinket, Searing Glare does not get interrupted on it. Needs to be kicked. Cheap shot. Oh, that goes to Eviscerate. I don't think he was able to go for a big DFA, but definitely a guaranteed crit. Eviscerate did the work. Jonas up next as a cheap shot as an Outlaw. Blind by Demonic. Knocking him back as a Drakthir. Needs an escape. Gouge. He needs to catch a resell some way, somehow. He's sprinting. He's slow, but he's sprinting. There goes the movement speed. Escape back as the slow fell off. Oh, for Demonic, this gives him an opportunity to potentially come back here. Look at that little glide he's got going on, too. He got no Trinket, got no Cloak, got not a lot offensively or defensively. Jonas does not have a Trinket. That is the only thing that Demoniac can play around with, is maybe they can just drop down full damage into Jonas, right? Rotate finishers up until a big Eviscerate. 100% crit, 60% more damage. Supercharge by Supercharger for 2 more combo points. 3 more, I think, actually. Yeah, that's about all he could really do. All he can do is just look for the man. He does grapple next to you. Holy. A sap could have just ended one of you two. Right here. Oh, no. He knows that he's at. He knows that he was next to him. Does the tech actually help you find stealthies easier? There's no shot, right? There's no shot. Technical rogues do have an ability called Detect. You have to find it in a glyph. But that also just allows you to unlock a special little secret toy that only rogues can get and only rogues can use. It's like a coin pouch, and you could throw coins and launches you backwards. It was really cool. I don't remember if it was added in Legion. I think it was Legion thing. Pretty sure it was a Legion thing. But you do pick up an ability called Detect. You can just spam it as much as you want to. It costs nothing. Use as much as you want. I don't think it actually helps you for anything else besides that one little quest. But imagine. Imagine. It's a stealthy duel, boys. All of them are down. Thank you for my warrior talent tree set up and change them. Yeah, man. Hopefully it works out for you. Not sure. Not the greatest showing. Longer one first game at third. I'm happy. I think it did pretty good. The more you show up in these duels, man, the better it gets. Honestly, it's all about learning what other classes do and how to play in 1v1. Because in 1v1s versus solos, it's a very different story. Or even a blitz, right? Group gameplay versus solo gameplay, it's all very different. 9 minutes 24 seconds into the duel. Demoniac hovering over the eye. He wants to pick one of them up. He just wants to be very careful not to get an opener up by Jonas because the outdoor can really ramp. And Jonas got himself grappled, so he's just moving everywhere. Demoniac is in a great spot to potentially pick up the eye, but he's very skittish about it. Jonas is just trying to see if he can hover all of these as best as possible. Does pick up the eye. Should be able to see him. Does cheap shot to get in the opener. Flagellation. Cheap shot by Jonas. Trinket up by Demoniac. Yet another cheap shot again. Trying to see if he can get himself a big go. DFA, is it enough? Oh, I don't know if it was enough. He definitely was able to commit on the big damage. Was that a 3 mil hit though? Is my question. Was it or was it not? I have no idea. Holy, that could have been a lot of damage. I actually feel like those should have been dead, right? Picking up the eye, should be able to see him, grapples away, cheap shot onto Demoniac, and his super DR does get himself a killing spree. Actually, is it DR'd? Is it DR'd though? But is it DR'd though? If he can take out Jonas here, he'll definitely have himself that big combo afterwards. He just needs to do a couple more hits to check him out. Does it a burning again, cheap shot. Just needs one more. There it is. Buff Rogue charging in, not letting Demoniac out of sight. Doesn't have a blind this time around. He does have himself dodge that you can put up with the Buff Rogue, if anything. And he should be able to go for a big go right now, immediately here. Potentially should be able to go for big DFA, right? Blind on the Demoniac. Does Bob get himself a proper stun? Disarm. No stun yet. First aid. Doesn't go for it. Ah, it's over, I think. Ah, last Demoniac stun. Nah. That's a full killing spree. That was tough. That was tough. Excalibur picking up 4. I didn't even realize that man picked up 4. Paladins, man. I guess he did end up holding the fort for quite a bit, huh? Versus Conan versus the Feral Druids versus Sub. So, no, Sub. He died to a Sub. I guess I did pretty well there. I didn't even realize it.